Hey, my name is Bailey Mueller, and I'm here at AYA interviewing Alice. Would you like to give us a little perspective on AYA history?
I would. AYA was formed in 1979 by a group of community people who were concerned about two things. One was the education dropout rate, and the other thing was recreational opportunities for teenagers. And they were always concerned about at-risk kids. And so they bought this building and fixed it up as a youth center. And because there was a little room upstairs, they had a school upstairs, and it was called the Upstairs School because it was upstairs. And you'll still see some of our old letterhead that talks about the Upstairs School. And from that, this is our 30th birthday this year, by the way. From that, we developed into mostly schools, and the recreation became less and less, and now we don't even do the recreation piece. And at one time, we had schools from all the way from Brookings up to part of a program that we had in Florence. So we were pretty big at one time. Right now, we've slimmed down, and we're really concentrating on this school, which is our main site school. And we have a school in Reedsport still.
Cool. So do you like what you do here?
I love what I do. This is the best job I've ever had, and I've had a lot of them. This gives me enough opportunity to work with kids who are having trouble in some classes, but also just the overall big program. I get to have my little fingers in all kinds of little pieces, and one of my special babies, of course, is the mushroom and the video program, and that has been something that's just been a real joy to watch develop. And when we started it, we had no anticipation that it would go anywhere. We actually started it trying to do a video for Extreme Home Makeover because we wanted to get our kitchen fixed up. And we never did make that video, but we've certainly made a lot of other videos since then. But it all has just come about, by serendipity, which means that the pieces fall into place, and we say, oh, well, that works so well, why don't we do this?
So how long do you think this AYA program is going to be going on for?
As long as there are at-risk kids who were behind in classes, kids who are in danger of dropping out of high school, kids who have various problems that make it not work for them to go to regular public school. I think we'll survive.
It's more hands-on than doing just, schoolwork and all that. And I like more of the hands-on stuff because I think it's a better way of learning. I've learned that, being in this stuff is fun to do, but it's also work. But it's just so much fun, you don't even realize you're doing any work. I don't know, it's awesome.
And what I like about media program is that I got into my artistic abilities by using Sumo Paint, which is like a Photoshop but on the internet. And I really like to put in my own designs and my own creations on the internet. It's still a lot of work to work in the media class. Sometimes we will have our interesting moments when we're on task and doing stuff, but also we have our fun ways by using Sumo Paint, and also sometimes editing and making our own videos. And I think in the future I'm gonna go my own way and probably start a career of my own by getting more into my passion of art, by maybe doing pottery or anything really different.
It's taught me a lot, actually. Media class, I've been doing it for a couple of years now. I've learned several things that I wouldn't have learned in the first place. How to edit different videos, how to use certain cameras, different camera angles, different focusing for the cameras, and it's just a really good, joyful experience. Yeah. I'm more confident, not afraid to speak my mind and tell people how I feel, so it's kind of nice. I wasn't like that before. I was kind of a shut off, stay in the corner, don't talk to people kind of person, be real quiet, but now I'm just I don't really mind. I'm just kind of an outgoing guy, so I don't know, it kind of makes you humble though. It's nice. I like it. It's good stuff.
What I like about the mushroom program is that we're actually creating life and we get to eat it and watch it grow, and it's cool. The media program, you learn a lot about yourself. just by, expressing yourself in front of cameras. It has changed the fact of what you can do as far as electives. It's more out there and more earthy, more real. After high school, I have many, many plans. I definitely want to go into the psychology field. The human brain is something I've always been interested in, and I want to unlock those doors. And I can do anything, absolutely anything that I want to do, and nobody can stop me.
The media program has changed what I think about school as being like fun, and we can actually be free and be able to express ourselves, and it's easier to talk to people here. Sure, the drama's more like intense because we're all stuck in a little school. I honestly have learned a couple things from being in this program. I've learned how to edit videos, I've learned how to use Photoshop, and a lot of things that I could actually turn into being like career-wise if I wanted to actually go into like technology field. And I really like this class. I am honestly split among different things. I want to do nursing. I recently got into welding, and my real passion is actually art. I love tattoos, like being able to put your artwork on somebody and having it be there forever and having it mean something on the person is like a lot to me. So if I can get into that, that's definitely what I want to do.
I used to think of school as just a boring place where you had to go to do work, but now I think of school, because of these programs, I think of as something that can be fun and you can enjoy. It has changed the way I treat other students. I used to be kind of a shy person, but this class really made me open up.
One of the problems we had with the initial mushroom project was the fact that I'm in a classroom grading papers, and I've got kids out doing the work for the mushrooms in the garage, and I'll wait for the break and go out to see what's going on, and they're supposed to be pasteurizing the straw at 160 degrees, keeping it there for an hour. And I show up and the fire's burning out of control and it's 212 degrees. And they just start sitting over there not paying attention. So from that experience and many like that, we discovered it might be a good idea to videotape some tutorials about how to go about making sure procedures are followed, because we had it printed out and they'd look at it and then they'd forget what they were doing. So by watching it happen, we thought that that would be more helpful. So another benefit from making these tutorials is when the students were filming the mushroom people doing their stuff, they didn't really understand what was going on. So we would actually create seminars where the mushroom kids would meet with the video kids and explain the process of growing mushrooms. So as a side benefit, the video guys learned about mushrooms, and the mushroom people learned how to do shots and all of the technical aspects of making a video. So there was sharing going on in both classes. So yesterday we were doing a transfer from the petri dishes to the dry berries, and I kind of was surprised to see that my whole role there was almost, I didn't need to be there. The kids were trained. It looked like I was watching lab technicians go through a procedure. Usually I had to explain what to do and make sure they're lighting the alcohol or they're doing something. But my role was just like an observer. All I had to do was label when they were done. And I was just thinking, wow, how did this happen? Because the one girl, Bailey, had only done mushrooms one time before that. And yet by watching the others who had done it all term, she had the procedures down just as well as they did. So it's a matter of, it's not like reading a book and forgetting about what you did in the chapter the day after. It's like if you're working with your hands and you're doing these kinds of procedures and you're seeing others do it, it just transfers. So I think it really helped by having the video for them to watch first, and they can see how it happens, and then when they get their hands on, they're making it happen. And I was really just, I guess the word is almost proud to see that, wow, there's probably no other place in a high school where they're doing this kind of thing. And the kids are just going about like it's just another day, and we know what to do. It was just simple. And yet what they're doing is really kind of a complex procedure. They're transferring live spores to a agar-based nutrient base. Then they're making it grow in another sterile environment and transferring that to a second pasteurized environment. It's like the whole procedure is just flowing, and they're not even thinking about doing it. They just know what to do. So one of the things that maybe this mushroom project has helped to do is that there's a common misconception, I think, that kids at AYA are bad. You know, they're the ones that smoke dope. They're the ones that beat people up. They're losers. They don't even go to school, and if they do, they can't think well. And it's just like, and that might have been true maybe 10, 15 years ago when the program was starting and we were kind of a dumping ground for social services. But really, it's not the case anymore. I mean, the last graduating class, 25% of the kids had been to AYA at one time or another. So I think the Mushroom Project has kind of helped kids fit into a better role that way. An example would be, you know, you got this one guy he's doing his physical science, he's writing answers to questions, and there's a question, how does a thermometer measure temperature? And the kid writes an answer to the question, something like, it sees what's happening in the heat and tells you that, which doesn't really explain what's going on. So if you have the kid out there with a burn barrel and it's full of water and he's dumping a thermometer into it and he's watching it register 160 degrees, he's seeing the fact that the metal is expanding, it's causing a dial to move up, and he knows what a thermometer does, as opposed to reading about things that are on the page that he doesn't comprehend. So it begins with a young lady named Bree in the forest, sees a mushroom, a red one with the white little dots, and she runs over. There's one, picks it. Is this the right kind? Sniffs, prepares to take a bite. And then Cody, a tall, lanky young man, comes up and says, hold on, young lady. First of all, what do you mean, the right kind? Sly smile wraps across his face. This, my foolish friend, is indeed the right kind. If by the right kind you mean that you wish to drool, have mucus run out your nose, maybe throw up a few times, perhaps have a convulsion or two, all for the pleasure of seeing some things that aren't really there. David, nearby, says, do it, Bree, yeah, sweat and drool, that'd be cool. Bree, maybe not. Think maybe this is a bad idea. Cody responds, good thinking. It's always best to either do your research or have a knowledgeable companion along. Now, let's put that in a basket and look for some more. Because where there's one, I'm sure we can find others. Bree asks, but why pick them if they make you sick? Cody responds, that's why you do the research. Cook them in salt water for half an hour, pour off the broth, and you have a choice edible. We'll make spaghetti tonight. All the bad stuff goes down the drain.